Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wednesday night and Festival Fun Facts. My name is Dennis Argel, and I am privileged and pleasured to be the director of the New Jersey Solo and Ensemble Festival for the state. And this is our fifth, I believe, or sixth Festival Fun Facts live stream. If you've been joining us these past several weeks, we've been able to highlight the student musicians who participated in our winter festival, which completed in March. And we're just getting ready for the spring/state festival coming up, which registration just closed, and we're going to start with the video submissions in May. This evening, we have the pleasure of having our gold one-star students in the area of music theater. But before I bring on our first guests, I have a couple of announcements I would like to share. If you're interested still in receiving information about the festival for future consideration, or if you are registered and you want to get some more information on the competition suite that we use as our adjudication platform, or review the rules and regulations of the video submissions before May 1st, there's the website for you to go to get that information. Just a reminder, again, that the video submissions, those of you who are registered, and we'll talk about that in a moment, how many we have, which is really great news again. Check out the screen. Video submissions don't start until May 1st. So if you've already gone to the site, you won't be able to upload your video or your PDF at this point because the group is not yet populated. Okay, give us a couple of weeks to work through the registrations, and I promise on May 1st that'll be ready to go. If there are any questions, this is my email address. It's Dennis@ArtsEd New Jersey, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or concerns you may have between now and the video submission process. I want to say thank you first to ArtsEd New Jersey for sponsoring the festival and these evenings, these live streams. I also want to thank the Wisconsin State Music Educators Association because they were the ones that graciously loaned us all of the repertoire that we've used for the festival, as well as the publishing rights that accompanied that, so we can do it virtually. I want to thank Music for All because they're the ones that are powering the festival. They're providing the registration. They're providing all the linkage between this and their registration, our registration, and the platform for adjudication. And that brings me to our adjudication platform competition suite. They've been very generous in helping us out with putting this festival on with upwards of 1,000 kids participating for the winter. And that brings me to this point. We have 619 spring festival registrations. So we almost got to the 900 number again, a little short this time, but we have 157 gold one-star students back with us to participate in the state festival. So hopefully they're going to see some new adjudication, get new perspectives on their performance, and hopefully see the growth that they've made in the course of the last 2 or 3 months. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to bring on our first guests of the evening to discuss their journey from where they started to and through the Winter Festival and hopefully to the Spring Festival. And they are from Ramsey High School. And I bring into the studio Miss Abigail Schwartz and her teacher, Mr. Matthew Wolf. Welcome to both of you again. Welcome back to Mr. Wolf and welcome to Abby. If you've been following the last couple of weeks, Mr. Wolf has become a regular on the show. We featured a couple of weeks ago students who received more than one gold one-star rating, and Mr. Wolf had a student in that capacity. And last week, we featured students in the classical voice repertoire, and he was back again with a student from Ramsey High School. And we are pleased and privileged to have Abigail, from Ramsey as well, with Mr. Wolf. Again, welcome, guys. Welcome to Festival Fun Facts.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us again.
Absolutely. Now, Abigail, you're starting us off this evening. Let me ask you one question because I'm gonna coerce you into singing something for us. You know that, right? All right. So let me ask you a question first. How do you feel being on this stream tonight?
Oh, I'm excited. This is fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What year are you in, Abby?
I'm a sophomore in high school. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So can I ask you what you're going to sing for us? Is it the solo? Is it part of the solo that you did for the Winter Festival?
Yep, I'm doing vanilla ice cream from She Loves Me.
Oh, very cool.
Mhm.
Are you ready to do that now?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Whenever you're ready, we'd love to hear it. Great way to start my evening.
Ice cream. He brought me ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. Imagine that. Ice cream. And for the first time, we were together without a spat. Friendly. He was so friendly. That isn't like him. I'm sickly stunned. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? It's been a most peculiar day. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? Where was I?
Yay! That's wonderful. Yes, now I want ice cream. So how did you select that piece, Abigail? It was lovely. What a lovely tone. I love the lightness. Beautiful.
Thank you. Well, actually, it was really funny because right before Mr. Wolf brought up like this competition in class, my voice teacher suggested this song for me. She thought that I could learn a lot from it. And I was skeptical at first because I heard it and I know that it's a really popular song, but I wasn't sure if I could do it. I was worried. And I thought that this would be a great opportunity to get better at it, like to get better at singing. I thought that this would be the perfect time to learn it.
Awesome. So what did you learn from it? Your teacher said you would learn a lot from it. So what did you learn from singing about ice cream?
Well, press support, first of all.
Oh.
It's a really fast song. So at first I was definitely gasping for air. I had to work on that. And also just a lot of stylistic things. It's very upbeat. It's very different from a lot of the classical songs that I've been working on with my voice teacher. So it was just a completely new experience.
Wonderful. Yeah, I saw you. I mean, I was watching you while I listened too. And one of the things we talked about briefly last week with the classical vocalist was, the ability to emote the story of the song in this kind of a virtual setting. If it's one thing to be live with. So I can obviously I can feel you telling the story. So how do you come about doing that? What do you draw upon to make that work?
Well, it's hard doing it on here because I kept glancing at myself and I'm like, oh, this is me acting. But I've tried a lot of different things. Worked with my acting teacher. What's the action instead of just trying to, now's the part when I'm happy. I will be happy now. What's something that gets me excited? What can I draw on? What's my goal in this scene? She's really excited and confused about this, but she needs to write this letter. But she keeps getting distracted and, having fun with it is a big part for me because if I get too serious and too acting, I lose sight of what I'm actually supposed to be doing.
All right, that's a lot of great information. You're a sophomore, but you're not sharing information like a sophomore. Bravo to you, Mr. Wolf. So what was your role in this relationship of bringing Abigail to it, and what are you doing at Ramsey that she's already learning that this can come out of organically?
Sure. So this actually fit really nicely into a project I've talked about a couple times on the stream that tied into the solo and ensemble competition. We tied that together with what we were doing in the curriculum, and so we planned this project that the kids would check in with me every week, sending a different recording, going back and forth. And every week they would get comments from me. So we used a program called Flipgrid where they could send a video, which was great too, because I got to watch the emoting, of this whole process. And was able to offer like immediate feedback that Abby could take and apply into her stuff. In addition to what she's already doing with a voice teacher, she was getting the supplemental stuff from what we were doing in class back and forth. It was a real great way for me in this virtual environment to check in with my kids, because this is my first year at Ramsey, and getting to know them has been tougher just because we're hybrid right now, which, I'm very thankful that we're in a district where were able to have that in-person component and participate in music activities. But it's still, I do see them less, and it's difficult to, to hear them individually. So this project was great, and Abby, immediately spoke up that she wanted to compete, and we went back and forth about 4 weeks in a month, in preparation of this, and filmed the final stuff and sent it and submitted it. So
awesome. So Abigail, let me ask you a question about Mr. Wolf just mentioned the filming of it, right? This is a virtual festival. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of music from which to choose, but we also allowed students to choose a selection that wasn't on the repertoire list, right? There was a little form to go along with that. Did you pick something that was on the list, or something that was off the list?
I picked something that was on the list.
Okay, yeah. Good. So you didn't have to worry about that step. But you did have to tape yourself, record yourself, and submit that, right?
Yes.
Did you use a live accompanist or the?
No, we got it, and Mr. Wolf sent me recording of an accompanist.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But so let me ask you this: because we didn't allow this for folks watching for the first time, there was no editing allowed of the video submissions. It had to be in one take. And if the accompanist was with you, it had to be a live. If it was a live accompanist, both of you had to be on screen, right? So you had a recorded accompanist, just you in the room, or maybe some help, somebody holding the camera or something, or you had a tripod. So how many, if you don't mind sharing, how many takes did it take for you to say, this is the one?
Well, it was not a one and done thing. I'm still recording every week. I'm trying to, get as good of a take as I can get, because, there's always stuff to work on. I'm never going to have a recording and be like, that's perfect. I'm never going to do it again. Well, that's also a big reason why I'm still choosing to do Vanilla Ice Cream in this next festival, because I am always improving. And even in the last take that I sent in, I'm looking through it and I'm like, oh, I can change that, or I interpret this differently now.
Okay.
Every week I look at the video, I send it to my voice teacher, I send it to my acting teacher, who they're both amazing. Haven't sent the one to Mr. Wolf yet this time, but
Well, he sees you on third grade, so he's giving you input along the way as well.
Oh yeah, he's seen me since I had no clue what the song was.
Well, and this song's tough too, because we didn't hear it tonight, but the ending is quite very high in the range.
Oh, yeah.
And so not something you can do 300 times and record all at once. You have to do it over a period of time, because it's just not something you can do consecutively like that. It's just too high. And Abby does a wonderful job handling it, but it is a tough ending.
Yeah, between the range and, like you mentioned earlier, the breath support with all those lyrics and trying to tell the story, it does become a physical feat, right, to handle all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you. I certainly couldn't, especially when I was a sophomore in high school. I could barely get out of the house in the morning to go to school as a sophomore.
Same.
So you've already shared with us you're going to perform the same piece. Look at what kind of growth you've made along the way. So can I ask, did you listen? Well, first of all, did you listen to the commentary of the adjudicator?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And you've got the acting coach, you've got the singing coach, you've got Mr. Wolf, you've got the fifth grade. There's a lot of input. Was there anything from the input that you received from? Did you have Miss Prokop as your adjudicator for music theater?
I'm not sure.
Jan? Okay. It's probably Jan Prokop. She's a professor at Montclair State University and a performer on Broadway.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
that's who it was.
Was there anything there that you were able to glean that you put in your toolkit for the next time and carried with you?
I took it to my voice teacher. What do you think? Yep, I agree. I'm like, okay, I'll work on it.
Very cool. Well, that's great. I'm not, we just finished registrations. Please forgive me. I have 5 cats and a dog. And they just decided to come down the stairs for the stream. So I'm not sure if she'll be your adjudicator again, because we have some other new panelists on board. So I may assign somebody new to hear your voice. But if you get Ms. Prokop, you'll have a baseline. She'll have a baseline from you from a couple of months ago from which to draw, which is a good experience as well, right?
Mhm.
Let me ask you another question, Abby. I'm sorry, I'm calling you Abby. You didn't tell me to call. Is it okay to call you?
Call me Abigail. Call me Abby.
Okay. What do you tell students? I mean, you said you were a little anxious about this evening. Were you anxious doing the recording and participating in this event?
I guess as anxious as I get for everything, but I try to not set aside the anxiety, but kind of to embrace it when I'm doing these things, because I have the opportunity, I might as well take it.
That's awesome. That's great. It's a great approach to it. What would you tell other students? I mean, I guess what you just said is good enough. But if there's another sophomore out there that is getting ready for the spring festivals? My first time. I'm anxious. I have 2 weeks to prepare my video. What kind of words of wisdom would you be able to share with them?
Like, have fun with it. You're going to I learned a lot, and I know that it's not what I learned isn't just going to apply to vanilla ice cream. It's going to apply to everything that I do, just like working on any song would. It's an experience that I think has been really beneficial to me, whether or not I ended up, getting a gold 1 star or not. And who doesn't want to improve? That's
awesome. Good for you. Yeah, I should share with the folks that are watching. Our rubric, the way it was designed, our score sheet, if you will, was out of 30 points. 30 points being the top score. There were 3 categories: tone quality and intonation, musicianship, and technique. I'm not sure that's the right order, but those are the 3 categories. 10 points each, with the perfect score being 30. Abigail's score was a 28, so that was one of the top scores, which qualified her for the gold 1 star, and therefore an invitation to participate in the state round, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. Got a couple of minutes left with Ramsey. I'd like to find out what's coming up at Ramsey High School. What are you guys involved with? What do we have to look forward to?
A lot. There's a lot going on. The musical is coming up. We're currently in spring break, but the musical is coming up. Oh my gosh. And then Ram Jams, my a cappella group, we made it into the finals for ICHSA's, the international competition.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many folks are involved in that group, Mr. Wolf? The acapella
So it's 21-ish, 20, 21. We have it's bigger this year because the format's a little different. So we actually, ICHSAs would usually be in person, but this year the competition is fully virtual. And so we were able to leverage a couple more students that are involved. And we have a really great group this year. And we are one of 8 now that's advanced to the finals, ICHS finals. We're very excited. It's the first time in the school's history we've gotten this far. So it's very exciting.
That's amazing. Can you share with us what ICHS is for those?
Sure. I am going to say it wrong because I can never say it correctly.
International competition for high school a cappella.
That's it. Yeah, I always have to think of the ICCAs and then transfer it to college because that's the college level one, and that we compete in the high school level one. So I always explain to people, if you've seen Pitch Perfect, it's the competition, but at the high school level.
Sure. What are you performing for it?
So we're doing a combination of 2 different songs, Still Feel by a group called Half Alive and Kings and Queens by Ava Max. So it's all pop music, and we actually we recorded a whole music video. That's the competition. It's like a music video creation, and we're very lucky to have some very great tech people in our school. A student audio engineer, a student videographer, student creative designer, and so we're really trying to get our students involved in this project in whatever ways. We actually did a little bit of work this week, and we resubmit next Monday, and for our finals competition on May 8th. That's actually right after our musical that we're doing Mamma Mia May 5, 6, and 7. And then on the 8th, we have ICHSA finals. And a couple weeks after that, on the 15th rather of May, we have them performing in conjunction with our jazz groups in an outdoor concert out on the front steps of our school. And then in the very beginning of June, on June 3rd, we have a full spring concert we're doing outside. Wow. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's wonderful that the community, the school, the district has been able to, use the needed mitigation and giving you the schedule and the support needed to put on this kind of performance schedule. So bravo to you and the district and the high school for being able to do that. And folks who are watching, please visit Ramsey High School's website for all those dates and information, because all the students I've heard so far in the 3 times we've been together have been outstanding, and I
Thank you.
couldn't wait to go watch their performances again. Abigail, Matthew Wolf, thanks so much for being here with us tonight. Abigail, I will certainly look for your video for the spring. It's coming up. In the middle of all that, you have another video to submit.
Yep.
May 1st and 15th. So thanks again for being here, and I wish you well for the spring.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, that was a great way to start the evening with Ramsey High School. And next, joining us in the studio, we have from Parsippany High School, Miss Christine Wilson, and her students, Sarah Lepre and Joseph Trimitetti. Is that correct, Joseph?
It's Tremititi, but you were close.
Trimitetti, thank you. And Sarah, did I get Lepre right or Lepre? Which is?
It's Lepre. You got it right. You're good.
Woo! Thank you. Welcome to Festival Fun Facts, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, Miss Wilson. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Thank you.
How's your day today? Everything good?
Yeah, busy.
Okay.
Very busy.
Wonderful. Well, I want to hear what's going on in Parsippany as well. First, let's introduce these 2 fine singers. Those of you who have been on since the previous group from Ramsey High School know that these are gold 1-star students in the area of musical theater. And to be a gold 1-star student, you have to score somewhere between a 28 to 30, which is a perfect score, on our rubric that we had for the state festival. Again, it's not a competition, it's a festival. We're celebrating the achievements of these young performers. And according to my records, I have Joseph with a score of 28 on his performance, amazing, and Sarah with a score of 29 on hers. So we got the top of the top here, and this is a great occurrence that we've got 2 students from one campus with us this evening, from Parsippany. So good, congratulations to you. That's right. Congratulations to you, Ms. Wilson, and to the students. So let me start by saying, well, first of all, are we going to get performances from these 2 young people, Ms. Wilson? Am I able to coerce them?
I think so. What do you guys think?
I mean,
Only if you want. If you want to hear my voice, then yeah.
Of course, but people want to hear your voice more than mine, Joseph. That's for sure. Who would like? Would you like to start with singing, or do you want to talk a little bit? I'll leave it up to you.
we could start with singing.
Yeah, I think Sarah should go first. I think she'll set the tone very well.
Okay, Sarah, can you share what you're going to sing for us?
Sure. I mean, I guess I'll just sing a little snippet from Meadowlark, which is what I submitted to NJ Arts Festival. I'll sing a little bit at the beginning. Okay. And he fed her fruits and nuts from an ivory chalice, and he prayed, sing for me, Meadowlark, sing for me on the silver morning, set me free, Meadowlark. And I'll buy you a priceless jewel and cloth, a brocading cruel, and I'll love you for life if you will sing for me.
Whoa, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. So you're the Meadowlark singing for us. Thank you. Okay, Joseph, you are next, sir. What are you going to share with us?
I'm going to sing a snippet of a song called It Just Wasn't Meant to Happen from a very obscure musical called Calvin Berger. It just wasn't meant to happen. Just wasn't meant to be. I'm just not what she is after. Just not her cup of tea. I'm just gonna have to move on. Just have to let it go. It would have been nice just to tell her even so. Look, I know it's not reality. I mean, a girl like you with a guy like me. But just this once, it's been the rules. Pretend it's April Fool's.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Wow, it's two very different pieces, very different singers, but both beautifully done, guys. Congratulations! It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
so
you.
let me ask Miss Wilson too. Did you help in the selection of the pieces, or did the kids come up with this on their own? What was your process with this?
I let them pick what they wanted to sing. I gave them the list. I told them what books they could choose from, and they just went for it and picked
Wow.
great pieces. Yeah.
Amazing. So both of these pieces are on our approved repertoire list, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. And are you both registered for the state festival as well? You're both going to
Yeah.
perform once again for the spring. Are you doing the same pieces?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So all right, we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the growth, but so let me ask Joseph first. So how did you find out about the opportunity to perform for the festival? Where did this information come from? How did you get it from Miss Wilson?
I mean, it came from Mrs. Wilson. I had no knowledge of this. I didn't even know this existed. And then like Mrs. Wilson was telling us that there's like this really cool opportunity where we could sing a musical theater piece or a classical piece. And I was like, after the year we've had, why wouldn't I take this opportunity?
Great. Yeah. It didn't. You didn't know it existed because it didn't. It kind of was constructed for the purposes you just mentioned, Joseph. But hopefully we're here to stay. We'll see what happens with it. How about you, Sarah?
Basically the same thing. Mrs. Wilson was telling us about this awesome opportunity, and just like Joe, I was like, I haven't sang anything in so long for like something, so I was like, why not submit something? There's no reason why I shouldn't.
That's great. I saw you both, with, in some ways being virtual makes it a little easier to participate in something like this because you can participate from home, right? We're all in our homes and you don't have to drive somewhere and deal with a whole day but the flip side is, as a singer especially, there's a certain kind of storytelling that comes with musical theater, right? So, and both of you, I can feel you telling the story while you're singing this, 35, 45 seconds of music. So, Sarah, how do you do that? How do you tell a story to your computer so well?
I just kind of try to imagine that I'm on stage. I try to take myself out of my room, out of my little setup that I've made of, stacks of books and like my little tripod, but I really try to place myself in the character situation, and I try to completely forget, myself and my current atmosphere.
Great. That's great. And how about you, Joseph? Similar, or do you have your own technique?
I mean, honestly, me being at home, I kind of use that like to my advantage because like when you're home, you feel like you're in a safe space. So I feel like that's allowed me to like be a little bit more vulnerable and like be a little bit more intimate because like when I'm on stage, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but like I tend to go on autopilot, and at home I do that less and I'm more open and organic. So I don't know, I work well at home, I guess.
That's very cool. I mean, that's insightful sharing that you have there, and we can, as educators, we can take that into account too when we're trying to create a safe space for all of you to perform in. Ms. Wilson, so how much work did you do with them at school with this, or is it something that you kind of let them go and guided? What was your role in creating these kids' performances?
I basically let them go with it themselves. I gave them all the information. I helped them with songs. If any of the students wanted me to listen to the recording, I listened to it. I gave them feedback. But they chose their own songs, and they just did an amazing job with them.
That's amazing. It's amazing. For those folks just tuning in, this is a virtual festival. Obviously, they picked the music from the repertoire list, and then they had to record themselves and upload it to our adjudication platform. Now, the recording could not be edited, right? It had to be you introducing the piece, telling a little bit of a background about the piece, and then performing it. Did you guys use a recorded background, a live accompanist, or was it a cappella? Let me start with Sarah for this one.
Oh, I found an karaoke track on YouTube, and I downloaded it as a file, and then I just played that in the background.
Awesome. And how about you, Joseph?
Yeah, I did the same. I just found like a piano backing track on like the internet, and then I downloaded it.
That's awesome. Now, let me ask you the question. How many takes did it take for you to say, this is the one I want to submit?
So many. I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I want everything that I put out into the world to be like perfect, which is definitely unrealistic, but nonetheless, a bunch. My mom was like, Sarah, it's fine. Just submit it. It's not no, I can do it better.
Right. How about you, Joseph?
I mean, I have my phone right here. I could probably count the exact number of takes it took, and I can guarantee you it'll be a lot.
Sure. And Miss Wilson loves that because that's called practice, right? I mean, that's one of the things that most of the educators, you could tell me what you thought about, is that during this process they're kind of self-assessing and correcting, right? What do you think, Miss Wilson? How did it affect you?
I agree. At a time like this where learning is different, it's great that they have platforms and opportunities to practice. And these two, they practice.
Right, sure you can hear that.
Extremely hard. So this was a great thing for them to do because it was something where we're choir. We don't normally have an opportunity to do musical theater songs. And I know they both love musical theater. So it gave them something different to do. And I know that they both ran with it and really enjoyed the opportunity.
That's wonderful. Did you have an opportunity to listen to the adjudication feedback from Ms. Prokop?
Yes, I did. It was really helpful. Yeah.
Great. What can you give us a takeaway from that you were able to go, oh, let me try this?
Yeah, she was talking about elongating my vowels on notes, on words like me or free. Like I was going to vertical with them, and I definitely think that's an awesome note. I'm trying to implement that into everything I'm doing, and it's definitely making it like easier to just like sing.
Awesome. And Joseph, how about you? Do you remember anything that you took with you?
Oh yeah. Well, she really helped me out with, especially like the character and like the meaning behind the song. Where like being in choir more than I am in musical theater, I tend to focus on notes and like accuracy, but like occasionally I'll forget like I'm telling a story. So she really helped me. Like, of course you have to sing on pitch and you have to sing the accurate rhythm, but like just like before that, just remember that you're telling a story or you're telling someone else's story and really like embody that. So she really helped me with like just finding that in me.
That's awesome. So we've got a couple of minutes left with Parsippany. Can you tell us, Ms. Wilson and Sarah and Joseph, please share what's coming up at Parsippany High School that you want to share with us and that we can look for in the coming weeks and months?
Well, we finished our musical about a month ago already. I can't believe it's been a month.
Wow.
But both Sarah and Joe were both involved with the last 5 years.
Oh, great show.
Of the show. They did an amazing job. We are working towards a live spring concert in a month where we're going to do outside, and we're going to have our band, we're going to have our choirs, I should say, marching band maybe, color guard, and just have a big show up. So we're really excited about that.
Sarah and Joseph, how do you guys feel about the opportunity to be able to perform live for an audience after all this 13 months of this?
I'm so excited. It's going to be so cool, especially with choir, because like it's hard online because you can't hear the harmonies. Like that's what makes choir satisfying in my opinion. So I'm really excited to get with the rest of the choir so we can have that again before I graduate.
Wonderful. And so Sarah, you're a senior?
Yes, I'm a senior.
And Joseph, how about you, sir?
I'm a junior.
Okay, so Sarah, do we have a vision plan for your post-secondary training? Do you want to share that? I mean,
yes, absolutely. I'm going to Marymount Manhattan College for musical theater.
Yay! Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Joseph, you must be inundated right now with all kinds of come to my school, come here. You want to come here, right? Do you have any inkling what kind of path you want to?
I mean, I definitely want to go into music, probably music production, because I like creating and like producing my own music. So
Awesome.
I'm thinking of majoring in that.
That's awesome. Good for you. That's great. Again, and it's wonderful that Parsippany has, the district, the community, the school has provided you with a supportive, a faculty member, Miss Wilson, a great schedule. The community obviously, appreciates the arts to a point where they're putting together this outdoor festival. You just put a musical, and you know how hard it's been for everybody. So we all know how important music is. Performing arts are. Music theater might be, I have my own, my own take on that. It might be the culminating American art form. What opera was to Europe, music theater, when it's done right, can be to us, and it puts all the arts together. And you talk about social emotional learning with students. Putting on a show like the last 5 years. My goodness, so many connections there. So I congratulate not only Sarah and Joseph, but Miss Wilson and Parsippany High School for all you've done. And guys, thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to your performances for our state festival and see how we grew. Okay? Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Our next guest, hi, Shannon and Elena, Shaddow.
Hi.
Welcome to the StreamYard studio for the Festival of Fun Facts. This is a little bit different take. I'm Dennis, and we're meeting for the first time.
Yes.
Nice to meet you guys. How are you? Thanks for being here.
Great.
It's great to meet you too. Yeah.
I want to share with the folks watching that Elena is a private studio teacher, and Shannon is her student from that studio. And she's the only private student in musical theater to have achieved the gold 1-star rating. So we're very proud and happy to have you here with us this evening. And I can share with our audience, those of you who are just joining in, we had a 30-point rubric. And at a possible perfect score of 30, Shannon received a 29. So that's pretty amazing, Shannon. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again so much for being here. Oh, somebody just said Elena is my vocal idol. Laura Lawson said that.
Oh, thank you, Laura.
Hey, Elena from Rose. We got some fans in the house. I love it. So Shannon, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you go to school, and how did you come to meet Miss Shaddow, and how did we get here? How did you find out about the festival?
I'm from Montclair. I go to Montclair High School, and when I moved here as a sophomore, one of my good family friends recommended Elena, and then we got here, and it's just been a really great experience. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, Ms. Shaddow, how did you find out about the festival to be able to share with your students?
I believe I was following Arts at NJ in general because I'm a mom too, and I have children that go to New Jersey public schools. And so for me, it's very important. I have a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old, and we live in Hohokus. We moved out here 9 years ago from Brooklyn when they were very little. And for me, was the most important thing to make sure that my kids are getting, arts in schools because we do public schools. And so I think I had just gotten an email about it. And because I have a private voice studio, and I kind of looked, I said, I think it's just for, for schools. And I think maybe because this year was COVID or whatever, you opened it up for like a private studio teacher to submit their students. And I immediately thought of Shannon because Shannon is her pedigree is quite high. She came to me already having had a lot of comprehensive music training. She is an accomplished pianist as well. And so she has undergone a lot of musical training in general. Her theory knowledge is really incredible. And I just thought that this would be something to supplement her, just her achievements and something for her to work toward and during a really sort of barren year in arts ed. So yeah, for her anyway at school and everything. So I just thought she was a perfect candidate.
That's wonderful. This is the kind of story we love to hear at Arts Ed New Jersey, because we were intentional about making it open to, homeschool students, private students, parochial school students, private school students, in addition to the public schools, because there's so much talent in the state. We didn't want to minimize the net or the tent. We really wanted, especially this year, when there were so many things, so many areas saying no or not now or later, this was a yes. And Bob Morrison, God bless him, our CEO, and who really was his brainchild. All summer and all fall, he was like, Dennis, we have to work toward yes. So we're very happy to have had kids like Shannon be able to have this opportunity. So Shannon, can you tell us what did you perform for the Winter Festival?
I performed When I Look at You from the Scarlet Pimpernel.
That's awesome. That's an awesome song. An unknown show. I actually subbed in the pit for Scarlet Pimpernel. One of my favorite pits. I'm a bass trombonist and low brass person, and I subbed for Mike Christensen, who is the bass trombonist. Mike, if you're watching, thank you. And that's a great show. It's a great show. So can I coerce you into sharing a little bit of that with us?
Sure.
Awesome.
I think I have a piano track pulled up. Let me see. Yeah, how much do you want me to sing of it? I can sing a little bit. I can sing.
Did you give us what you want to give us? We'll go from there.
Okay.
Well, the Shaddow, you're her teacher. Tell her what to do.
Why don't you just sing like the first verse and chorus for us, sweetheart?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this is not the right piece. Let me pull up the right one. Okay. When I look at you, what I always see is the face of someone else who once belonged to me. Still I can hear him laugh, and even though that melody plays on, he's gone. When I look at you, he is standing there. I can almost breathe him in like summer in the air. Why do you smile his smile? That heaven I'd forgotten eases through in you. That's a good place to stop.
Beautiful. Good job.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yes. Beautiful indeed. That's lovely. Wow. No warm up, but a great, beautiful. I mean, we're hearing it through a computer, but what a rich tone, wonderful body to that sound. And boy, you can tell a story, right? I mean,
Gosh, thank you so much.
we're on this little laptop here, and you've drawn me right in with that storytelling, kiddo. So good for you. Congratulations. How do you do that? Tell us what you're processing while you do that.
I think I've always been someone that tends to really focus on the little details, and have had to really teach myself how to get out of my own head and just really focus on telling the story and thinking about who I'm speaking to and what it means to me personally. And I think that's just helped me get out of my head and really be able to find the meaning behind what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was as beautiful as your performance. That's wonderfully done.
I'm telling you, she's incredible.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. What year are you in school, Shannon?
I'm a junior.
Okay. So like our last guest, the young man who's a junior, who's being inundated by all kinds of conservatories and universities and colleges.
Yeah.
This is what you're going through now as well, right?
Yeah.
Any inkling of a path yet that you want to take?
Definitely somewhere along the lines of musical theater or vocal performance is where I'm really looking at.
Wonderful. We need more of you. Good for you. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Miss Shaddow and Shannon, so did you select how did you come about to select this piece from Scarlet Pimpernel?
Well, Shannon, didn't we? I think so Shannon and I meet quite often we used to study together in person, and now everything that I teach is virtual. I have a quite busy, robust voice studio. So now Shannon is one of my most consistent weekly students. And at one point, I think I said, well, would you want to do classical or musical theater. She preferred musical theater. I am a musical theater singer and actress, and so that's more what my specialty is. And so I think she felt like for us, that was kind of where she wanted to head. And from there, I don't know. I think, Shannon, did I give you the song, or did you bring it to me? I can't remember.
I think you gave it to me, and then we both just really loved it. Yeah.
We go through so much repertoire. This girl can just like gobble it up. I mean, recently we've been doing a lot of Rodgers and Hart. She's really into what's the last one I don't know. She just gobbles up repertoire. So it was just like a quick, and she just interprets so beautifully. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Shannon, for the festival, for the winter, well, let me look ahead here. You are registered for the spring state festival, I hope? Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. I get another chance to hear you sing then. For the winter fall festival, did you use the recording? Use the recording you just played, right, as a background vocals? So, can I ask you, how many takes did it take you to say, this is the one I want to send in for adjudication, guys?
It took quite a lot.
Well, you sent me a couple, right, Shan?
Yeah.
And we we tweaked it, and then we had to re-record it for something else, right? What was I don't know.
Yeah, because those folks that are watching, one of the, we try to be pretty open with the rules. There's no time minimum for the videos. Time maximum of 8 minutes, which is plenty of music, right? But if there were more than one musician, like if you had a live accompanist, they had to be on video with you, so we could see it was a live accompanist. And backing tracks were fine, and a cappella was fine. But the only thing that we really stipulated on, and we're stipulating again for the spring, is one take, no edits, no auto tune, no multiple camera shoots, just you and the camera, do it. So did you find that challenging, rewarding, a mixture? Shannon, how'd you feel about that process?
I find it both challenging and rewarding. I think it's taught me to just trust myself and trust my musical instincts, and just, again, help me get out of my head and really think about just putting everything out in a big picture. Yeah.
Awesome. This, Miss Shaddow mentioned that you gobble up repertoire and you're working on kind of a little bit of everything. Do you have a favorite composer, Broadway composer, or a show that, oh man, I can't wait to sing this?
There's a lot. I really love Rodgers and Hart right now. I just been like piece after piece. I can't get enough of it.
That's awesome. Anything in particular? Anything in particular?
I really love, there's so many of them that I love. I love Bewitched. I think that might be my favorite Rodgers and Hart.
That's a good one for interpretation as well. There's, there's that video of Barbra Streisand when she was like 21 and she went on the Judy Garland show. And I told Shannon about that. I don't know if you've watched it yet, sweetheart, but that's a good one for interpretation, for song interpretation. I mean, that woman she was such a young lady, and that's a good one. Bewitched. I want Shannon to do that one.
Yeah. That's the one with all that chromaticism, right? Yeah. Wow. Good for you, kiddo.
Yeah. She's a really, really proficient musician. She really is.
That's awesome. Did you get a chance to listen to the commentary of the adjudicator together or separately? Or how did you experience that?
I listened to it in my kitchen, and I think you listened to it.
Yeah.
Okay. But was it helpful to you? Did you draw some nuggets from it to say yes and let's move ahead with it? What was your take on it?
It's funny. I mean, Shannon, I'll let you speak. I texted her right away, and I was like, text me or call me when you listen, because I wanted her to hear it first, and then we discussed the feedback that she got. And Shannon, you can say what I said if you want me to.
No, you can.
Okay. So Shannon is working on, she was given one thing about vocal technique below a G, a sung G, that I disagree with, actually, as her. And I've trained her to not push below a G because of where she is in her vocal development. And because she's coming from a classical background of training, I'm trying to get her to understand that you don't have to push on the bottom of the voice in order to have sound. Even in musical theater, I'm a legit soprano, and I've been in 8 Broadway shows, and I've never really been a belter. And so there is a space for a young woman like Shannon. And there will be teachers and music directors that say you have to belt this. And then there will be teachers and music directors say, don't worry about it. You don't have to. So that's just a different school of thought. And so, but that was a point of conversation for us. And it was a learning moment for her and for me, and for her to understand that she may have a voice teacher in college that says, you need to belt this. And then they can have a productive conversation rather than her feel like, oh no, I've done something wrong, or I'm singing badly or poorly, you know.
Sure,
I to just empower them with the knowledge that there's, a spectrum in terms of if she wants to go into professional singing, which I encourage her daily to do, because she is so proficient and she has a lot of years ahead of her. I want her to just be easy on her voice and not feel like she has to belt all the time.
Yeah, that's great advice. Absolutely.
But all respect to Jan Prokoff, who my voice teacher knows. And she's the best. She's one of the best. And so she's an amazing woman and teacher. So, yeah. Sure.
But it's a great opportunity for us to be able to have these conversations and learn from them.
Totally.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
I'm sure if Jan was here in the room with us, this conversation could continue for another hour. Right? That's what open-minded musicians and artists do. It's learn from one another, lifelong. It never stops.
I'm still studying. So yes.
So what do you guys have coming up besides submitting another video between the 1st and the 15th of May?
Shannon?
What do you have coming up, Shannon?
Well, at my high school, we're doing a production of Shayna Taub's adaptation of As You Like It. I'm pretty sure the dates are May 8th, 9th, 15th, and 16th.
Okay. Is that a virtual experience or is it going to be live?
It's live. There's an outdoor amphitheater at our school, and we're holding it there.
Awesome. That's wonderful that Montclair is making that work for you guys. Are you guys a masked on stage thing or backstage masked, on stage no mask? How are you handling the mitigation? Different schools are doing.
I'm pretty sure we're all wearing masks the entire time. Yeah.
But that's wonderful that Montclair is supporting that kind of arts effort. That's wonderful. How about you, Ms. Shaddow? What do you have going on besides teaching that robust studio? I hope to see more of your kids. It's awesome.
I'm voice students. I'm trying to plan my spring recital for my kids, find a place to do it outside. I live in a small town in New Jersey, but I have students like kind of all over the country now. So I'm trying to figure out how to involve them. I made a virtual recital last time. Working on that. I am directing the musical at the Hohokus Middle School along with my husband. We're partnering and directing that. We're doing Into the Woods. So, so we're doing that at the school. I run an arts education program called Theater Arts Project, which I teach acting classes to little kids and music, general basic music lessons. So I'm keeping quite active.
That's amazing. Yeah, one of my favorite songs is "Children Will Listen" from that Into the Woods, and that goes to our conversation, right? Be careful the things you say. Children will listen. So that's amazing. Well, Shannon, Ms. Shaddow, is wonderful to meet you both, to have you here with us and share your thoughts and your talents and your stories. Because one of the things we wanted to do at Arts Ed New Jersey was not only host the festival and give these kids an opportunity, but wanted to hear from you guys. We wanted to hear about what journeys they're on and who are they accompanying them on these journeys, right? Because it's so important for all of us, right? Shannon is the future Elena Shaddow. Who knows, right? She'll have a studio at some point, and the legacy moves on. So it's wonderful to meet you. I can't wait to see your performance for the state festival, and I hope to have the chance to see you both back here in some capacity in the future.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right, you're very welcome, guys. Good night, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so that was our musical theater Gold 1-star students and their teachers. I want to thank everybody who's been on this evening providing commentary. I want to remind everybody that the video submissions for the State and the Spring Festival, if you've registered and you're participating, you have from May 1st through May 16th. To go ahead and do that to Competition Suite. You'll be sent emails, and on Monday night, don't forget, as I stated earlier, at 7 p.m., we'll be hosting a webinar with myself and Mark Sternberg from Music for All with some play-by-play directions on how to submit your video submissions and PDFs of the scores, as well as answering any other questions you may have about the rubrics or the timing of things or how to hear the comments after when the scores are going to be announced. Any questions you may have, we're going to try to address at that point. Folks who want some more information on the festival, this is our website, artsednewjersey.org. If you put /festival, it'll kind of get you there. Or if you go to the Arts Ed site, you'll be able to find us. But that's the site for the festival. If you've already registered, you can get on right away. If you haven't, it's free to register. And then you get all the information about our festival rules and protocols. You can see the repertoire list, the rubrics, anything you want to see there. One more thing, I want to put my email address up for us, for you guys, if you have any questions or concerns and you'd like to reach us. That my email is there, dennis@artsednewjersey.org. Couple of things I want to mention. Again, we have 619 current registrants, so a couple of latecomers over the weekend to still tally for the Spring Festival, and 157 out of 162 Gold One-Star students are back to perform for the state. So we're thrilled that there's almost 800 plus students out of the 900 or so that returned, and some new ones in that mix as well. We have a couple of announcements to remake, and I have a very special one coming up, and this goes to the folks that were on tonight. If you were here 2 weeks ago, we had the Director of Music Education from Jazz House Kids with us, Mr. Lee Hogans, and he shared with us that Jazz House Kids is going to provide a day at the Jazz House for the students who participated in the Winter Festival, and for those students who participated in the Spring Festival in the area of jazz, not just the Gold One-Star kids, but all the kids that performed in jazz. And that will take place on May 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I had a great meeting with Mr. Hogans the other day. He's going to provide me with registration and more information to share with all our jazz kids and their teachers. So that's Jazz House Kids on May 22nd. In addition, if you tune in 2 weeks from tonight, that's May 5th, you will see a couple of representatives and musicians from the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra, because we have a huge announcement to make that night. The New Jersey Symphony is going to provide master classes for all our Gold One-Star students in the area of orchestral music. That's all the string instruments and all the woodwinds and brass from the orchestra families: flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, trumpet, French horn, trombone, tuba. All those students that participated in the classical area and received Gold One-Stars will have master classes with the musicians of the New Jersey Symphony Orchestra. And they'll take place in the middle of June over the course of several days. So tune in that night, May 5th from 7 to 8, with a couple of representatives from New Jersey Symphony Orchestra, and two of their musicians will be with us as well to talk about their experience with the festival and the upcoming master classes. And lastly, what I was just confirmed yesterday and earlier today, we are going to be partnering with another great partner here in New Jersey, Elefante Music. Michelle Elefante and I have been in touch with one another, and Elefante Music is graciously going to provide master classes as well in the area of classical alto, tenor, and baritone saxophone. So if you participated in the Winter Festival and are a Gold One-Star student in classical alto, tenor, or baritone sax, you'll have a master class with Elefante Music on June 17th. Classical guitar Gold One-Star students will receive a master class from Elefante Music on June 14th from 5 to 6 p.m. And classical pianists will receive the same from Elefante Music at 2:30 to 3:30 on June 12th. But to tonight's offering, what I'm very thrilled about is there'll be a 2-hour musical theater workshop and masterclass at Elefante Music for all our musical theater Gold One-Star students. So those students that were on this evening and the couple of students that could not be with us this evening from Shaddow High School, there were 3 students from that campus, will also be able to participate in that workshop. So we're very thankful to Elefante. We hope to have them on in the future to talk a little bit more about that. And like I said, in 2 weeks, please be with us to meet the folks from NJSO and what they have to offer. And one last thing, next week for Festival Fun Facts at 7 p.m., we are going to feature 6 students who are middle school students and receive the Gold One-Star rating. They are from Tennekill Middle School in Gloucester, New Jersey, Montgomery Upper Middle School in Montgomery, New Jersey, Heritage Middle School in Livingston, New Jersey, Churchill Junior High School in East Brunswick, And then from another private studio, Mr. Rui Yamauchi and his daughter, Elena, who got the gold 1 star in a different category, actually, than what he teaches. So we're very excited about that. Again, part of this live stream Festival Fun Facts is not only to talk about the actual festival and the opportunities that are provided, but to tell the story of the students and their teachers along this journey. So we're very excited, again, of having all these musical theater students here tonight. And please join us next week so we can hear from the middle school students. Again, I'm Dennis Argel. I want to thank Arts Ed New Jersey for the sponsorship, Music for All for powering this festival, Competition Suite for providing the adjudication platform, the Grunin Foundation for the scholarships that they've provided, and again, the State of Wisconsin Music Education Association for allowing us to use their repertoire list. That's it for tonight, and I hope to see you next week. Take care.